Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my smoked stuff series. This lesson is pulled smoked chicken. This is a great recipe for smoking and pulling chicken. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken breasts, but you could use skin on breast, bone in breast, or skin on, bone in breasts. You could also add chicken thighs or use only thighs, again, with or without the bones. I'm doing about 8 pounds of chicken today for a big party, but use less if you like. The basting sauce, which contains mayonnaise, gives the chicken a nice richness. I also add my Carolina-ish Vinegar Sauce at the end, but that's optional. I'm plating this pulled smoked chicken today as a slider with coleslaw, but feel free to serve it any way you like. So let's start cooking. Okay, now we're going to get the chicken ready to put in the smoker, and I've got probably about 8 pounds of chicken here. We're going to have a lot of people for a Labor Day party. So what we're going to do, just to make it a little easier to smoke, is we're going to cut it into pieces, and where I can, I'm going to cut off extra fat. Okay, we're going to do that with each one of the chicken breasts. These are boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we're just going to cut them all into quarters. It's just, we don't have to do that. It's just going to make it a little bit easier to handle the smoking, and then we're going to be pulling it after it's smoked. So we'll just make it all a little bit easier. All right, now we're going to rub the chicken. Now, if you haven't already started your smoker, go ahead and do that, and heat your smoker to 250 degrees, okay? Now, we're just gonna mix this up so that all of the pieces get coated with the rub. All right, now we're going to put some of the basting sauce on the chicken. All right, now we want to get enough on there to get them all coated, okay? I'm not going to use it all. What I have here is a batch of my chicken roasting and basting sauce. We're just going to get all the pieces coated in that sauce. Okay, good. Now we're going to let this marinate like this for about half an hour to an hour. Now, here's what I'm going to do. If you're going to be putting it into the smoker in about an hour, and if the chicken was cold when you started this, you want to get the chicken up to room temperature. So what you can do now is just cover this and then wait till it gets to room temperature, which will take about a half an hour to an hour. Then we'll put it right into the smoker. But if you're not going to be doing it right away, then what we're going to do is put this into the fridge for a half an hour to an hour, and then we're going to take it out and get it back to room temperature before we put it into the smoker. All right, now we're going to put our chicken in the pan that we're going to use in the smoker. Now, I'm going to leave just a little bit of space between the pieces so that the heat can circulate around them. All right, and I'm going to probably need 2 or 3 pans to hold all this chicken. I'm only going to show you one on camera. And then I'm going to cover it with foil. Now, if this were skin-on chicken, I might not use the foil, but since this doesn't have the skin, I'm going to put the foil over it to try to keep from losing some of the moisture. And if you're using skin-on chicken, use it skin side up. All right, now we're going to put this into the smoker for 2.5 hours. We're going to baste it every 20 minutes after the first hour. And then after 1.5 hours, we're going to start turning the chicken and basting it every 20 minutes for the last hour. Right? So into the smoker, and also, depending on what kind of smoker you have, you're going to have to put in your smoke source. I'm going to put in some wood chips to provide the smokiness. Okay, it's been 1 hour, and these look really moist, so I'm going to brush them now, and then I'm not going to brush them again for another half an hour. If they look drier, I might have basted them again after 20 minutes instead of half an hour, but I think we're going to be good here. All right, and I'm going to do this with all of the pans of chicken, and I'm also going to brush some of these pan juices on there too. Okay, you could do the pan juices first and then the basting sauce, or do the basting sauce first and then the pan juices. Doesn't really matter. Okay, then we're going to cover them back. You want to do this also as quickly as you can so that you don't lose too much heat. All right, and then we're going to put the foil back on, put them back in the smoker for 30 minutes. Okay, we're at the 1.5 hour point. Okay, and at this point we're going to start turning the chicken and basting it every 20 minutes for the last hour. Okay, this is looking really good. There's a lot of moisture in the pan, which means we're not losing it, right? We're keeping the moisture by having the foil on there. If you're using skin up chicken, this turning every 20 minutes will result in the skin being up on the upside at the end. Foil back on, and do that with the other pans and put them all back into the smoker. 20 minutes later, okay, it's been 40 minutes, and now we're going to do the last turn and the last basting and the last 20 minutes in the smoker. All right, back into the smoker for the last 20 minutes. Well, I started pulling the chicken off camera, and I'm just going to do a little bit of on camera, keeping one fork, using one fork to keep the piece of chicken steady, and using the other fork to pull it apart. And then I'm just going to put it directly into a slow cooker set on the warm setting with a little bit of my Carolina-ish vinegar sauce, just so that there's some liquid in there when I add the chicken to the warm slow cooker. And I'm just going to do this much on camera. I'll do the rest off camera. And then after it's all been pulled, we're going to decide whether we need to add some more liquid to it to moisten it. All right, here's all of our pulled chicken. It's in the slow cooker on the warm setting. We're going to add some of the liquid from the smoking process. What we want to do is, I want to moisten it, but I don't want to make it sloppy, okay? And I'm also going to add a little bit of my Carolina-ish vinegar sauce. And we're going to do this to taste, okay? Because you're going to have a different amount of chicken, you're going to have different tastes. So we're just going to mix it up and then taste it. Okay, let's taste it. Very nice. Okay, now this is ready to serve. Keep it warm in the slow cooker to serve it. We're going to be serving it on slider rolls with some coleslaw and extra sauce on the side if people want it. I'll have photos of the final dish at the end of the video, but you can also see photos of the final dish on my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.